Hello and welcome to this week's assembly. Wow. Anyway, let's crack on. Al, looking good. And Vic, come on up, Vic. Why do you think he's excited? 3 guesses. It's his birthday. He's 2 years old today. Anyway, enough of that. We'll come back to the birthdays. If you don't stay calm, I'm kicking you off. Right, let's get started. Firstly, I had a great blast making the 150th show, celebrating our 2 years of GCMS TV. It was great fun. It was a real trip down memory lane. And I strongly recommend, if you haven't watched it, do have a watch. It's 3/4 of an hour long, so you might want to watch it in bits and pieces. But it's actually quite a little bit of history of what we've been through in the last 2 years. And you've all been phenomenal, and you're all brilliant, and you're all awesome. Anyway, more of that in a bit. Right, let's do some shout outs, yeah? Okay. Thank you. Okay, this one's from Ines. She says, could you please play our advertisement on the show? I'm going to try and get this in. We're running on a very tight deadline. I've been away for 2 days doing some really cool stuff. He's miffed because I wouldn't take him, but there were too many people there and he'd have raided the bars and restaurants and it would have been very ugly. At a conference, and it's been awesome. Lots of techie stuff going on. So I tell you what, I will try to get it in Ines, and if I don't, I will definitely have it in next week's show. It's just time. It's just time because I'm producing this one really, really quickly. Okay, that one is done. Now, this is gathering a bit of momentum. Hashtag Vic for President. I like this. But president of where? Because obviously Great Britain or UK and Northern Ireland doesn't have a president, Prime Minister. So maybe it needs to change to hashtag Vic for Prime Minister. That'd be cool. Keep that one going. Anyway, that one is from Alexander in 6PH, I think. Wow, interesting. Okay, Izzy has said, Miss Leonard, please can you put this on the show advertising our homemade scented and moulded soap business for Make £10 Grow? Certainly, I will try and get that as the background, if we can. We'll give it a go. Again, time and all that, but if not, next week. This one is an idea for the show. Thank you. It is about time we had some new stuff, and I like this idea. It is from Ella in Year 5, I think. It says, you could do a jokes section where every week 5 jokes from students are selected to be read out on the show. I think that is awesome. So we are going to do that. If you've got some really good, cool jokes, send them in. We will read them out. And as long as there's not masses and masses and masses, we'll read all of them. Yeah? Otherwise, we'll just pick the best ones. Or we could save some for other days. Okay, this one's from Amelia. It says, please can I give a shout out to Martha in AN, Poppy in AN, Libby in TB, Leah in TB, Sophie in TB. I think you need to group them. Alice in VT, and a shout out to you, Miss Landner, for teaching me something new every week in computing. And a massive shout out to 5AN. That is music to my ears, Amelia. That is brilliant. We're on a learning journey with these computers, and we are doing so well. And one thing I learned while I was away that you lot need to be dead proud of is that I listened to some speakers talking about getting one-to-one devices in schools like Chromebooks. And this guy was so to say an expert, and they were no further ahead than we were. And he's supposed to be one of the leading people in the country. So we are top-notch with our tech. Isn't that amazing? Well done, you lot. Okay, yeah, that one's done. All right. Shout out because 5AN is the best. I don't think so, Jessica. Shout out to 5AM for being an amazing form, especially you, Sammy, and Ella L, Ella C, and Iman. Also, Anaya and Elliot for helping me and each other in our space work. Space, it says space site. Is that right? Space site. More about science in a minute. Brilliant. This one's from Jasmine in 6PH. Says, shout out to Lila's broken litter picker that her dad bought her. R.I.P. little litter picker. And then a sad face. Big up 6PH for your cleaning and tidying up. And I noticed it's spreading. There are more people out there doing tidying. Awesomeness. Another one, Alexander, again, wants hashtag Vic for President. That was twice. And this was from Tom in the same class. For my friend Alexander, make hashtag Vic President. I told you it was gathering motion. This one's from Freya, always polite, lovely, a regular on the show. Hello, please may I give a shout out to Coach CC, who runs the girls' basketball club on Tuesday morning. He makes my Tuesday more fun than it is already. Can I also shout out Vic? He is super funny and makes me laugh. Yeah, cool, of course you can. Yeah, big shout out CC, been doing a lot of really good work, and this is why our basketball teams are so good. It's no small part to him, certainly not my teaching. Okay, this one is from Anaya in 5am. It says, to my form class for being fantastic, and to my friends Rowan, Iman, Ella in 5am, and Amina in 5TB for being fabulous friends. Lots of exclamation marks, lots of smiley faces. We like that. And then the last one I've got here is, this is a shout out for my class for being amazing classmates and having an awesome teacher. Vic is cool, smiley face. There we go. 5am. Awesome teacher. Wonder who that could be. Right, what should we do next? Let's do birthdays next. We'll save the staff messages to last because there's lots of really good ones. We'll do the birthdays now. Let's find the birthdays. Here are the birthdays. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to him. Roar. Don't hear him roar very often. Okay, so today, the wonderful Miss Smith. Happy birthday. Vic, obviously. We've also got Aman in 8MR and Harry in 5ML. Happy birthday to you guys for today. Go home, run around, eat cake, do silly things. No, not you. Clara in 7AT on Saturday, Luke in 70W on Sunday, Lani in 8MO on Sunday, and then we've got Iram in 6SH on Monday, and Jack in 7SM on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got Charlotte in 7MR, Ane in 6SH. On Wednesday, we have Ethan in 5CK. And finally, on Thursday, we have Sophie in 6ND. Have fantastic birthdays, you lot. Have a wonderful time. And if you've got a weekend birthday, you know the drill. Go nuts. Go crazy. Right, get that staff stuff for me, please. Get it out system. I hate it when it's his birthday. It's ridiculous. You are. There'll be no cat litter cake tonight. Honestly. Okay, this one is from Mrs. Good, and I'm going to make a big thing of this, and it gets mentioned in other staff's shout-outs as well. Shout out to Mrs. Jury and Mr. Brymer and the science teachers for a fantastic science week. Now, this is so important. Mr. Brymer and Mrs. Drury, wow, we wouldn't have had the activities going on this week if it hadn't been for you. And Mrs. Good then goes on to say, shout out to Year 8 and Year 7 classes for such a superb response. And I can say that, you know, some of the project work that's gone on this week is really, really good. And I think it's going to spill over a little bit into next week just so we can get things finished off. But a massive thank you for the science team for putting that one together, particularly Mr. Brymer and Mrs. Drury. Awesome job. And thank you to Mrs. Good for that shout out. Okay, Mrs. Jobling says, can I have a shout out for Year 7 for being awesome in their Friday afternoon enterprise lessons? The projects are looking amazing. Thank you to Mrs. Wilson, I'm coming back to that one in a moment, for all our hard work preparing everything so that the pupils can have an amazing experience in their enterprise lessons. It's been such a week, and it's been such a term, it's been such a year with these Friday afternoon things that the brilliant, the wonderful, the awesome Mrs. Wilson, technology Mrs. Wilson, and she's done so much hard work. And just things like I took a group of Year 8s to Nissan to do a computing thing, and it all been organised by the wonderful Mrs. Wilson. So, you know, you are awesome, and you, along with Mrs. Drury and Mr. Brymer, are going to get GCMS gold cards because you are awesome. Remember, you get nothing for a GCMS gold card. Just a mention on the show. So thank you very much for that one, Mrs. Jobling. This one's from Mrs. Tompkins, and it's got a word in foreignness in it, so I'll probably say it wrong, so I apologise in advance. This is a big shout out to 7AT and 7SM girls for their amazing coordinated aerobics routine. Such a joy to watch. That's a nice one. She then goes on to say, and this is where I'll get it wrong, Felicidades. I don't know. Felicidades to all of 6ND for outstanding Spanish fashion show. Mr. Veach, please award 2 house points to all of them each. She then goes on to say, can 6ND be class of the week? No, they were last week. But well done, 6ND, anyway. And if you see me in the corridor and I pronounce that Felicity word wrong, correct me. Save that one till last. That's Miss Smith. Okay, this one is from Miss Jones-Lee. Please, could you include a couple of shout-outs for me? Of course I can. Number one is to all the Year 8 pupils that took part in the National Reading Champions quiz. Last week, not only for their fantastic knowledge of books, but more importantly for their teamwork and integrity. What a nice word. You are doing a smashing job, you Year 8s. The other one is for the Year 8s who engaged in the recent Lit and Phil Creative Writing Workshop with such enthusiasm, and also to Mrs. Greaves and Mr. Williams for facilitating this week's workshop in my absence. Thank you very much. Absolutely no problem at all. You are welcome. This one is from the lovely, the wonderful Miss Liddell, who I'm going to mention again in a minute. It says, please could you give a shout out to 5CK for their amazing work during Science Week. They've been a pleasure to teach and have worked fantastically. Couldn't have done it without Mrs. Drury. So a huge thank you to her too. Absolutely echo that one. Thank you. I'm going to talk a bit more about Mr. John in a minute. Okay, last one of the day is from the wonderful, the amazing, the birthday girl, Miss Smith. It says, Year 8 ambassadors for rising to my challenge. I am so impressed. Ambassadors, you're doing some great work. And don't forget, they're operating their drop-in sessions and stuff like that, which is just out of this world and awesome. Thank you. Lots of thank yous to Mrs. Murter, Mrs. Foster, and Miss Liddell for always stepping in and being just brilliant. We have had a hell of a week this week with staff absences, with illness, and some of you have been off with COVID again. And these three people, literally, sometimes with no more than about 1 minute's notice, will walk into a lesson and will deliver your lesson for you. We are so lucky to have these three. I don't think they deserve GCMS gold cards. They deserve GCMS diamond-studded platinum cards. Yeah, absolutely, Vic. They are the bee's knees. We are all so grateful for you. And on that note, I want to follow that up by mentioning the LSA team, who are just so fantastic. Yeah, go on a trip, they get it all sorted, they get all the meds, they get it all organised. You're just cool. You're just superb. So, brilliant stuff. One for Mr. Slipper here for taking the squash players on a road trip. Great job. We don't get paid extras for doing these sorts of things. We do it because we love it. And we love taking you to them. So thank you very much, Mr. Slipper, and all of the PE team that run extracurricular clubs, the likes of Mr. Collister, Mr. Prudhoe, Mrs. Malt. The list goes on. I hope I haven't missed anyone that does extracurricular sport there. Oh, Mr. Ferguson. And I think Miss Usher does the athletics. And I think sometimes Mrs. Murta helps out as well. Miss Foster. It's so wonderful. So wonderful. Then goes on to say, Mrs. Good for her ever-ready solutions. Mrs. Good is very good at problem solving, and when we're faced with a problem and we need to do it quick and we need to sort it, Mrs. Good's your go-to person. So thank you for that. And then finally it says, and all our lovely staff and students who are off at the minute, we hope you get well soon. We miss you. Totally agree with that one. And also a massive thank you to Miss Smith for just calmly taking us through all of this. You're an absolute star. GCMS Gold Card to you. Right, we're coming towards the end of term. We've got 2 weeks to go. We've got trips coming up. It's going to be a really, really busy time. It's easy when you start to get tired to not be kind to each other, and get a bit impatient and all that kind of thing. Be kind to each other is really, really important. Right, we hope you have a fantastic weekend. We're back again bright and breezy on Monday. Turn off the Chromebooks, get some rest, be with your families and all that kind of thing. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Hello, we are here to tell you about Notilot's new product, the one and only handmade notebooks.
They're £1 each and you can buy 3 for £2.50. What a bargain.
Also, if you buy a notebook, you may get a golden ticket, a free pass for a free notebook. They are varying designs, from cats to monkeys,
bikes to tigers and ravens to burgers.
Come and buy our notebooks.
See us on the afternoon of the 1st of April.